Talk about low-budget flights, no food or movies? I'm out of here. I like running better. Welcome back, YouTube viewers, to another video. Alright, so before I begin to today's video, I'd like to thank you all for the insane views I got on the first part of my Archie Sonic Headcanon Voices video. Series, that was the first time I'd ever done something like that, so it didn't turn out as well as I'd hoped, but I'm working on some more parts and they're coming out a lot better, so I will release those when I finish them, but I didn't release so many Sonic videos in a row, so we're doing something different today. I thought, okay, Dragon Ball. Okay, tier list. Okay, Dragon Ball Transformations tier list. Let's do this. This video idea came so suddenly, but why the heck not? It's fun. Let's get started. Okay, so I got S tier, which is like a 9 or a 10 out of 10. A, like an 8 out of 10. B, a 7. C, a 6. Or maybe a 5, D is like a 4, and then F is a 1, 2, or 3, just like the bottom of the barrel. Okay, so the Ozaru. Let's put it in A tier. So the Ozaru is pretty different compared to other Dragon Ball transformations because, it's not something that Goku or whoever else says, ha, I needed power to defeat the bad guy, so I'm going to turn into this thing. No, there's a whole thing about, for a long time, Goku didn't even know that he was ever an Ozaru. He didn't even know what an Ozaru was. It was a big moment when he found out that not only could he turn into one, but that he was the one who killed his grandpa Gohan when he first turned into an Ozaru all those years ago. I mean, you do have Vegeta turn into one for his whole big scene in the Saiyan Saga, which is a really great sequence. He's like Goku, except he's in control of this form, so he's actually able to speak, and it really does help him because he still retains his intelligence in battle. But it's less of a big, cool, it's less, to be fair, all the good transformations do have some kind of narrative purpose, but even compared to something like Super Saiyan 2, it really is mostly about, 99% about the narrative and not the actual, cool factor of it, The Golden Ozaru, so, I've never watched Dragon Ball GT, so I'm not really gonna put this on here, sorry. Kaioken. So, I don't really okay, I'm not actually gonna cover all these, because some of these I don't really consider to be transformations, or I'm not covering False Super Saiyan, because that's just in, one of the 90s movies, and I've never even watched that movie, so I really don't care. So all these four, the Golden Ozaru, Kaioken, False Super Saiyan, whatever this thing is, I'm not covering them. I will say, though, Kaioken is great, so okay. Regular Super Saiyan, the original, obviously, it's an S tier. There's no question about it. It's the Super Saiyan, even though the Ozaru was technically the first transformation, this is what started the transformations we know them today. It redefined Shonen. It inspired Super Sonic. But aside from the fact that it's just incredibly cool looking, it does work super well because of how much it's built up. We have the whole thing of Frieza wondering it would be a nuisance if one of these Saiyans turned out to be a Super Saiyan. And you have all this build-up where first the Ginyu Force thinks Goku's a Super Saiyan, but he's told, nah, you can't be one, you're not angry enough. Super Saiyans are supposed to love battle and killing. And Vegeta keeps talking about how, I'm turning into a Super Saiyan, and I'm going to destroy Frieza. And he really actually thinks he becomes one, only for him to get absolutely wrecked. And then for Goku to finally become one after finally accepting what he is. Because what Super Saiyan is not just supposed to be, this is the big cool thing, it's built up and now Goku can defeat Frieza. It's the culmination of Goku's arc, where he finally accepts that he is a Saiyan. A Saiyan who was raised on planet Earth, as he says. And of course, he also, the whole you need to have a pure heart thing, Goku definitely has a pure heart. That doesn't mean he's the best, greatest guy ever. It just means he's not complicated in a way. He's just, he's simple. He's pure in a way. Also, I like that it doesn't just immediately dominate Frieza and the battle is over. Sure, he is dominating Frieza for a while, and he is still stronger than him, but Frieza is able to power up to his 100% at least provide a decent fight, because if it had just been Super Saiyan and automatically defeats everything, then it really wouldn't have been that interesting. So it looks awesome, it's super well built up, it works well in the narrative, it's Super Saiyan. Next is It's like the Super Saiyan Grade 2 thing that Vegeta does. Or as he calls himself, Super Vegeta. Beat here. I used to actually really like this form. I'm not really sure why. I guess I just really like the moment. Like, it certainly works well as a great moment. Vegeta's went from being pummeled by Android 18 to now being able to defeat semi-perfect Cell with ease. And it's the whole point of... It's the first time we see someone actually surpass the state of Super Saiyan, but it's not a full other level. It's more like a 1.5. It's a good moment. It looks kind of cool, but like there's only so much you could say about it because it's basically just Vegeta with some Super Saiyan Vegeta with more muscles, so not really that interesting. Still good though. Super Saiyan Grade 3 I'll put like right at the bottom of A tier. Because you could all say the same thing where the transformation itself isn't that interesting. I mean, it is still more of a transformation than Grade 2 because Trunks is even more buff and he has the white eyes and everything, but this one just works especially well in the actual narrative. Perfect Cell seems absolutely unstoppable. Even Vegeta's insane final flash just couldn't beat him. And so Trunks unleashes his ultimate power. Cell even says, "Why? You're even more powerful than me. Your power eclipses mine by a wide margin. But I assure you, raw power isn't everything." Because of course, as we all know, for as strong as he was incredibly slow. And this whole scene cuts back and forth between a scene with Goku achieving this form, where Gohan says, "Wow, you must be strong enough to take on the whole universe." And he says, "Yeah, I may be strong with all these muscles I can't move. What's the point of being the strongest if you can't hit the guy?" And so ultimately that's Trunks failing. No matter how powerful he got, he didn't have any real battle intelligence. He just thought pure muscle would defeat everything. Which is something that comes back way later in the arc, so just... It's great in the narrative, but it can only go so far in terms of is it cool. It is still pretty cool, though. I don't really want to count Super Saiyan, like the full Super Saiyan state thing, because it's basically the same as regular Super Saiyan, so I'm not really going to count it. I have no idea what this is. Okay, Broly's forms, I can cover those, so... This is Broly's regular Super Saiyan form is just like a regular Super Saiyan form. His legendary form is actually something different. Okay, so... I think Broly's legendary Super Saiyan form is... mediocre. Like, look... I'm not one of those people who's trying to go, well, actually, the 90s Broly was actually a really good character and you guys just didn't understand. No. Those movies were bad, and you could say all you want about how, but the sub actually has like a better story for Broly. Yeah, it does. But it's still bad, because at the end of the day, aside from the cool villain lines, Z Broly is basically just a big guy who runs around screaming, "Kakarot, I'm gonna kill you! I'm gonna kill you, rah, rah!" There's only so much far in that doesn't really go that far in terms of a good story. It doesn't help that movie's story isn't that good either. So, but does it look cool? Yeah, it looks cool. I'll give you that. Let me just see. Is the Super version included here? Because I actually do really like the Super version of that form. Let me see. Is it here? Yeah, it is. I'll talk about that later. Okay, so the Z version, it's fine. There's also just the fact that I don't really like Broly's Z design that much, so I'm kind of putting it just mediocre. It's not really good or bad, I just don't really care for it. Next is... I don't even know what this is. I think some of these are just movie exclusive. Okay, Super Saiyan 2. Can definitely talk about that. Super Saiyan 2 is obviously S tier. Sorry. It's Super Saiyan 2. I mean, I don't like it as much as the original form, because for me, nothing can match the sheer buildup of that. But Super Saiyan 2 is still amazing and iconic for a reason. One, it's a form that isn't originally achieved by Goku, but by Gohan. The whole thing is that the Z, up until the Buu Saga anyway, was basically about the rise of Gohan. Because if you really think about it, Gohan is the main character of Dragon Ball Z. Even in the Buu Saga, he still arguably has more screen time, I think, than Goku, so he's basically the main character. And this is his form, even though other characters eventually use it, of course. But even though it doesn't have the same kind of build-up as Super Saiyan, at least it doesn't have it in the traditional sense. It's less of a... You don't have characters talking about, let's go achieve Super Saiyan 2, which is some prophesized form. No, it's just them saying, we're going to surpass the level of Super Saiyan, which they already kind of do. So you don't see this coming at all. But when you get that great moment where Gohan finally lets his anger snap, boom, Super Saiyan 2 destroys Cell. It looks really cool, with the whole blue lightning and everything. Sure, it's kind of hard to distinguish from Super Saiyan 1. I used to not be able to tell the difference at all. Now I can, but... yes, visually it is a bit similar, but also Super Saiyan already looks so cool, so something that even looks similar to it is probably going to look cool anyway. So it works well in that factor, but it also, again, does work for the story. It's Gohan finishing his character arc, basically, just like with the original Super Saiyan form. So yeah, S tier easily. Also, that final Kamehameha is obviously goated. Super Saiyan Rage. I have not watched all the Dragon Ball Super anime. So, I've always been more of a manga guy, just in terms of Dragon Ball, but in terms of shonen in general, I just don't really watch much anime. I do read a lot of manga, though, so... While I have seen a decent amount of the Super anime, I haven't watched the Goku Black arc. I just read it in the manga, which is pretty different. It does not include this form, by the way, so... I'm just gonna put it in bad because... one, I know that it's never explained, but also I just don't know anything about it. It's, I guess maybe I could put it in mediocre. Whatever. Okay, Super Saiyan 3. I love Super Saiyan 3, guys. I know it's kind of split. Some people say, oh yeah, it's super amazing and cool. Other people say, it's kind of dumb because it creates the whole thing of, it doesn't actually really do anything, but yes, it does. Okay, one, it does something simply that, it gives Trunks the time to get the Dragon Ball radar, while Goku shows Buu his power. And also, Gotenks uses it as well. Sure, it doesn't actually defeat Buu, but whatever. But for me, I think what makes Super Saiyan 3 so interesting is what it represents for Goku's character. Because up to this point, things look just terrible for our heroes. Goku and Vegeta were supposed to be on the same level, and they were legendary martial arts masters. Yet Vegeta was pummeled by Buu. He literally blew himself up to stop Buu, and it still didn't work. So Goten and Trunks are naturally telling Goku, you're supposed to be this legendary warrior, but if even Vegeta couldn't beat Buu, what chance do you have? What do you know? You can't do anything. And even we as the readers were thinking, well, Goku's always been known to surprise us. He always has some trick up his sleeve, but no, it seems like really this time, he doesn't. What is he supposed to do? And then he pulls out this, and it completely shocks everyone. Even Buu and Babidi are just in pure awe of Super Saiyan 3. In the anime, I love the manga version, but this is one of the few times where I prefer the anime, both Z anime and Kai, where the amount of extra visuals in the music just portray how big and epic this kind of moment is. This isn't just Goku showing off a new power, it's him reminding the characters and us, the readers, that Goku will always surprise us. Whenever we think, that's it, there's always something else he's got up his sleeve. Heck, it goes for the whole series in general. The 23rd tournament was full of that. It doesn't just go for Goku, it goes for Akira Toriyama in general. He always does the unexpected. That's the one thing you can't expect from him. Ultimate Gohan. I don't know why Fidel's here, but... Ultimate Gohan is... good. I like him. Because the reason I can't really put him higher is because, well, he's just Gohan, at least visually. Obviously, that's the point that, I guess, the Elder Kai says, you're basically doing that Super Saiyan thing with all that, hair-changing stuff and the glowing nonsense, so... it does not look that distinct. I understand the point of it, though, and it is still a cool moment, the whole, oh, boy, do you plan on fighting me? Fight you? No, I'm gonna kill you. That's a great moment for Gohan and Buu, but the form doesn't appear for very long, and there's only so much it does, since, Gohan doesn't even beat Buu anyway. And he doesn't use it again until the Tournament of Power, where it's not like he's the main character or anything, so I still like this form. I would never call it bad, but there just isn't really much to say about it. Also, the build-up to it is both amazing and kind of bad, because I love to laugh. I love Akira Toriyama's sense of humor, for the most part. And I think the whole sequence of Gohan's power-up comes from the Elder Kai walking around in a circle for 25 hours with these ridiculous sounds. He just sits there reading comic strips laughing, and then it turns out this whole time he actually is unlocking Gohan's inner power. That is really funny, but that isn't really much of a build-up where it's supposed to be this big deal. Although I guess the fact that it doesn't beat Boo anyway does make that less annoying, because if this did beat Boo, that would mean the thing that unleashed Gohan's power, that would have ended the entire Dragon Ball story, would be activated by an old guy making silly noises, which is not very good, but thankfully that didn't happen. Beast Gohan. Bad. So I just this month, the final volume of Super Manga finally came out in America, so I finally got to read those last couple chapters, and they kind of improved my opinion on Beast Gohan, but still not really. I still think it's bad because it looks cool, yes, but it has zero build-up at all. There's absolutely no build-up for it whatsoever. And the entire moment where Gohan gets it is just a knockoff of the Super Saiyan 2 scene. He's got the lightning and the hair shape too. It's just the same. Oh, Gohan's friends are being beaten by Cell, and Gohan can't watch it anymore. And then he blows up and gets his new form, except this isn't the culmination of a character arc. It doesn't mean anything narratively. It's just, here's Gohan's cool new power-up. Sure, it does look cool, but it just, what is even the point of it? It would have been fine if they just, I don't know, Gohan unlocks Super Saiyan 3 or something. I get the whole point is that it's his own form, but couldn't they have at least built up to it then? It's just so unearned. It's kind of cool, sure, but it's also just kind of lame. So I'd say it's bad. The first bad transformation here. Super Saiyan 4. So like I said before, I haven't watched Dragon Ball GT, but I also haven't watched Daima either, so I can't really judge either of these forms other than what I think, how cool they look. So I'll put them both in B tier, because I know people like them. They do look cool, so I'll put them there. I mean, from what I've heard, even GT haters like Super Saiyan 4, so it's gotta be kind of good. And I did watch the scene in Daima where Goku achieves Super Saiyan 4, which is a pretty cool scene, so yeah. B tier for them both, but I don't really know anything about them. Just Super Saiyan 4. Oh, the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I'll just put it the same there. It's a cool idea, but I don't know anything about it, so I can't really judge it. Super Saiyan God. I'll put this in A tier. I love Super Saiyan God. The red hair is just a cool look. And I like that Goku's haircut doesn't change again. It's just Goku's regular hair, but red. That's a nice surprise from all the many crazy forms. The fiery aura is cool. It's well built up too, with Beerus spending the whole Battle of Gods arc looking for the Super Saiyan God, the warrior legend. But it works so well, not just because it looks cool or because it's built up, but because of the way Goku gets it. It's specifically that 5 Saiyans with righteous hearts, when they join hands, they'll pour their powers into another. And all these Saiyans of righteous hearts wouldn't even be here if not for Goku. Goku wasn't just given this power on a silver platter. He earned it. And the whole point of the Battle of Gods movie, with him absorbing it into his base form at the end, is that he was able to take a power even though technically he wouldn't have had it if not for his influence on other people, he still was technically handed the power. By the end of the movie, he makes it his own power, which is cool. Sure, it creates many issues later on, which is something the manga thankfully didn't fall into. Because, hey, I don't like the whole God in base form thing. Sure, it works well on the thematic level for that Battle of Gods movie individually, but once you start continuing on from there, you have to deal with the whole consequences of that. So that not happening is better. I always do like whenever it appears. I really like the way it's used in the Super manga, where it's supposed to be that Goku and Vegeta haven't properly mastered Blue yet, so they use the God form because it may not be as strong, but it's way more efficient with their power. It allows them to be faster, learn their opponent's movements, and then just as they're about to hit the opponent, they turn into Blue and go. It looks cool, it's well built up to, it works well in the narrative, and it is properly used, at least in the manga anyway. Oh, also in the Broly movie, it looked pretty cool, so yeah. Super Saiyan God's really good. I like it. Super Saiyan Blue. Here's the thing, I don't really know if I should put anything in the bottom of the barrel, but I feel like if there's anything that would be in the bottom of the barrel, it'd probably be Super Saiyan Blue, honestly. Well, okay, I'll wait. Super Saiyan Blue is bad, and I think we all kind of agree on that at this point. It has zero build-up. Nothing. Just like Beast Gohan. Except, well, Beast Gohan was at least like, oh, Gohan's got a new form now, so we can keep up with power and everything. For Super Saiyan Blue, it really wasn't necessary. I mean, as it's been said a million times, you could just cut it out of the story, replace it with Super Saiyan God, and almost nothing would change. I mean, it looks cool, but I don't know. I never thought it looked cool as the other forms. I just don't really like the blue color scheme that much, like the light blue. And again, it serves not much of a purpose. And in its debut in Battle of the God or Resurrection F movie, you have Super Saiyan Blue Goku get nearly killed by a laser, like just a random laser. Sure, I'm not really going to blame that on the form itself, but it doesn't really make it look any cooler now, does it? It's boring. Super Saiyan Blue is bad. This is not just Mastered Super Saiyan Blue. That's the same thing as the Mastered Super Saiyan form. It's basically the same thing, so I'm not really going to judge it. Same, the Kaioken on top, it's not really a new form, so I'm not really going to count that. Okay, Vegeta's Blue Evolution is different enough. I think it's terrible. It'll be the first one. Well, my issue with this isn't necessarily the moment. It's more so that what was the point of giving Vegeta some crazy new form that has really weird particle effects all over it? They couldn't have just had him simply power up. I mean, that's what happens in the manga. He doesn't get some new form. He just powers up. I don't see the point in it, and it's not different enough from regular Super Saiyan Blue to distinguish it. It's just bad. I don't know. I think it's pretty bad. So I don't necessarily think it's awful, but I feel like it's the first thing I'll keep it here for now in F tier, but I might move it up later. Okay, okay, Super Saiyan Rose. It's actually something distinct. I'll put it in, it's good. I mean, I like the idea of the whole, it's basically Goku Black's equivalent of Super Saiyan Blue, but I like that his hair color isn't blue, it's something different, and the idea is that he's a god who is basically, surpassed the level of the god, so he gets his own cool form. So that's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it here. There isn't really much to say about it. It's just Super Saiyan Blue, but for Goku Black. Whatever. Jiren. This isn't really a form, this is just a power-up, so I'm not counting it. Well, I guess it's a form, sure. B tier. The whole crazy Jiren power-up final form thing. So, I like this. Throughout the entire tournament, Jiren has been an unmovable object. No matter how strong Goku gets, he just can't beat Jiren. But when finally pushed to his breaking point, Jiren unleashes his full potential, and his shirt gets ripped. So that's how you know it's serious now. My friends and I joke about how, things get serious in Dragon Ball when a character's shirt gets ripped. I feel like for Jiren, it's basically the embodiment of that joke/cliche in the series, so it's cool. It works well for his character. Now we get to see what Jiren's full potential really is, so that's cool. It's a good moment, but I don't really have much to say about it, but I still like it, so I'll put it in B tier. Let's see what's next. I don't even know what this is. Wait, this was Super Saiyan Rose? Then Wait, what was this then? Oh, that must be from something else. I don't even know what this is. I'm putting it back. Okay, I don't know who this guy is. I have no idea who this guy is. Okay, Fuse Zamasu. And yes, I'm calling him Zamasu, not Zamasu, because I read the manga. I'm gonna put him in B tier. Let's put him here. Actually, probably put Gohan, the ultimate Gohan, lower. Like here, okay. Fuse Zamasu is definitely a cool idea. It's basically Zamasu fusing with himself, except not, because of the whole Goku Black thing. I like how it's presented with the godly aura of now he has become the ultimate warrior in the universe, as so he thinks. But you have the whole story about how, because half of the fusion is technically immortal and not a deity, his body starts splitting apart. And you get that sick moment when Trunks just straight up slices him in half. No Spirit Sword, because I'm talking strictly the manga. He just shows up as Zamasu suddenly starts splitting apart, and then he takes his sword, boom, slices him in half. It's such a wild moment, but it's really cool. Also, I do like the design in general. Both the regular design for like the sort of like big, simple yet elegant aura it portrays, but then also the really cool like version when it goes crazy, it goes a big purple arm. So I like the fused Zamasu design. It's cool. It's a good transformation. Okay, next is the giant Piccolo form. I'm gonna put this in the bottom of A. So yes, it's not as cool or whatever as Super Saiyan 4 or Fused Zamasu or whatever, but for me, much like with Super Saiyan 3, this just represents a huge part of Dragon Ball for me, which is that Akira Toriyama always did what you would never expect. So you got Goku and Vegeta or Goku and Piccolo in their big battle, always pulling out some crazy new moves. So then during it, you have Piccolo grow giant. And then even after the surprise that wears off, you have him say, "What, you thought I couldn't get any bigger?" And then he grows even taller. Sure, it's not that effective in terms of the battle, but it's a huge surprise that works well. Surprising you. And then also it is actually useful because it comes back in Superhero. Piccolo uses this form to help beat Cell, so it is useful, I wouldn't deny that. I just really like it. This is my opinion. I'm putting it in A tier. So since I read the manga, it was a long only for Super. Like I never watched Superhero anyway. I never saw the movie, just read the manga version. I wish I did see the movie though. Not because I think it's amazing or anything. It's just, it's a Dragon Ball movie. I missed my chance to see Dragon Ball in theaters, so it's kind of a shame. But anyway, I've heard people. It was a long time before I knew this form even existed because in the manga, Piccolo is just told, "Okay, you get a new power up." In the anime, that's also how it is. The only reason you could even know that it's a new form is because his color is different. He's yellow instead of green, but since I read only in black and white, I would never have known this. But this is hands down the worst form in Dragon Ball. I mean, the fact that I couldn't even tell it was a new form says a lot, but then also there's the fact that it's completely useless and gets overshadowed by Orange Piccolo later, so it's easily the worst transformation in Dragon Ball, not even close. Orange Piccolo. Let's say A tier. I really like Orange Piccolo. I think it's cool. For one, it's just cool for Piccolo to finally get a new form, I guess, because he's never really had a new transformation before. And I like that it doesn't look as clean as something like Super Saiyan God or Blue. It just looks more raw, because, Piccolo is a big, powerful warrior. He's not like just some calm, elegant guy or whatever. Also, the orange color scheme is pretty new, so that's cool. I like it. It's good. Unlike Beast Gohan, which seems just basically out of nowhere, this isn't. Because the whole point is that, it's Piccolo's inner power being unlocked, but Shenlong threw in a little something extra. So, by that logic, he gave him a new form to access his power. Does it matter that much narratively? No, could have just been Piccolo gets a new power-up, but it's cool that he got a new form entirely, so yeah. Next is Zarbon. I'm going to put Zarbon's form at B tier. I'll put it here. I like Zarbon's transformation scene. It's a good scene. Just the whole shock of Vegeta has been effortlessly dominating Frieza's minions with Kiwi and Zarbon. But Zarbon shows that he has a total transformation. And in this form, he also reveals to Vegeta that Frieza transforms too. So, yeah. It's not actually that cool or anything, but like it does work. It functions in the story, and I still would never call it bad. So I'd say it's good. You know. Frieza's first form. This isn't a transformation, so I'm not counting that. It's just his regular base form. Frieza's second form. A tier. Frieza's second form is awesome. This is more so a result of watching Kai a lot, but... So you have Frieza, this stumpy little guy with incredible power. But then he transforms into this giant. And they watch the anime, they have this amazing shot of Vegeta looking up as you see the silhouette of Frieza growing bigger and bigger until he shows off his new giant form. And he just dominates the Z Fighters. He stabs Krillin with his horn. He reveals that he has a power level of over 1 million, which is the highest we ever hear. He just beats up everyone easily until Piccolo finally shows up to actually match him. He's also Frieza's first transformation we see, which therefore gives it a sense of importance. Sure, it's not the one he uses for the longest or anything, but it's just very memorable in how it's used. And it just feels really scary, too. Okay, Frieza's third form, the whole weird, like, alien xenomorph thing. I'm gonna put it in, here. Above Orange Piccolo, between Ozaru. So, it barely gets used. It's in the manga for, what, 1 or 2 chapters. It's in Kai for less than an episode, but it does look cool, and it does effortlessly defeat Piccolo, so that's something. Like, it is important, it just barely has any screen time, so it doesn't make much of an impact. I mean, he does say that it would be a simple matter for me to obliterate you all in my current form. Rather than do that, I'll unleash my full power and destroy you or whatever. So, until Goku shows up, he could have won with this, which just makes Frieza even scarier. He's just that powerful, even without unleashing his full power. So next is... Wait. Where's Final Form Frieza? Is he not here? No way. I guess this is supposed to be Final Form Frieza. It's kind of hard to see, though. It looks more like his 100% form, which I thought would be different, but... Final Form Frieza is an easy S tier. I mean, like, it's the form that we all know for Frieza. He remains in it for his whole Goku versus Vegeta fight. He uses it all the time nowadays. It's Frieza's true form, anyway. I just love the way it is built up. You got Frieza saying, okay, I have 2 more transformations left. You go into his third form, you're thinking, how are we supposed to beat this guy? He's invincible. Well, remember, he still has 1 more form. And then he just kills Dende, and no one could even see it because he's so fast. Vegeta thinks he's finally become a Super Saiyan, and then Frieza just demolishes him. He beats him to death. And it's really horrifying in the way it's portrayed, too. Goku shows up, seems like he stands a fighting chance? No! Frieza is just that strong with this form. And then he only finally gets put in his place when Vegeta or Goku achieves Super Saiyan. And even then, Frieza still isn't completely out for the count until he is finally defeated once and for all. It's great. Okay, Golden Frieza. Golden Frieza is really cool. I'm gonna put him at here. Golden Frieza, unlike Super Saiyan Blue, which they both appeared at the same time, is way better. 1, Frieza having a golden form is him basically mocking the Super Saiyan, which is a cool idea. But also, it represents Frieza's power, that is him training for 4 months and being able to get this strong ridiculous? Yes, it is. But him being able to get much stronger in 4 months does make sense, because Frieza was born as one of the top 10 strongest beings in the universe. He's just that powerful, probably top 5 beings when he was born. So having him train, so when he actually decides to train for the first time in his life, he achieves this shiny new form. It works it's both metaphorical and literal. He achieves like physical power, but then also like it's in a way it's metaphorical of like the gold is meant to represent his power too. So it's cool. And it actually is useful. But it's also clever how it's used. It's not just Golden Frieza is really strong, but even then he still can't beat Vegeta and Goku. No, it's Golden Frieza is about as strong as them, if not more powerful. But Frieza may have trained, but he never learned to train with his stamina. He doesn't have the ability to keep this form up for very long. So ultimately, he loses even with this crazy new power. Next is Black Frieza. Oh, Black Frieza. So apparently the Super manga is supposed to finally return sometime this year. So I guess we'll finally be getting that Black Frieza saga. But we still haven't gotten it yet, so all we have is the one scene. I'm just going to put it here. Top of A tier. It's in one chapter, but my goodness, does it leave an impression. Not just because it's been 3 years since then, we still haven't gotten to see what Frieza's going to do next, but it is just such an amazing scene. We have the whole build-up of, now Gas is the strongest in the universe, but the Oracle Fish doesn't recognize him, which would mean, wait, so Gas isn't the strongest in the universe? Then who is? But we also know that Gas was supposed to kill Frieza, but Frieza shows up, powers up into this new form, and one-shots him. Just instantly obliterates him. One-shots Goku and Vegeta, and shows how, you know what, he found a room of spirit and time where he trained for 10 years. And now he's become the strongest being in the universe. Aside from Zeno, I guess. And then he just leaves. Why did he just leave? He could have been toying with Goku and Vegeta, which is probably true, but what are his plans with this new form? I want to know. Please give us that Black Frieza arc. We all want to see it. Talk about leaving an impression. Also, I just like the idea that Frieza does have such insane potential, and that he's finally committed to just training regularly. That he trained for 10 years, just so he could finally surpass Goku and Vegeta once and for all. And regain his spot as the universe's greatest warrior. So, yeah. Cell. Why isn't Imperfect Cell on this list? He's just not here? In fact, Cell Max isn't here either. This is weird. I guess he's just not here, so I guess I just won't talk about him. Oh, because, yeah, he's not a transformation, he's a base form. Okay, whatever. Semi-Perfect Cell. Top of C. Like, Semi-Perfect Cell works well in the story, but he's not very cool. And ultimately, the story matters the most. The cool factor also does matter, and he looks stupid with his big pink lips, and his voice, well, it fits the character. Like, it just sounds very dumb and not threatening. And also, he gets decimated by Vegeta and Trunks, and even gets pushed back by Ten Shinhan, which are all great moments, but it doesn't really make him seem that scary, which is, whatever. It's still a decent form, because it represents him changing personalities. In his original form, his personality was that he acted like some kind of creepy horror movie character. So his design reflected that. But now, he's this big, brutish oaf. That's how he acts, so that's how he looks now. But it's not like he isn't stupid. We have the whole scene where he convinces Vegeta to let him achieve his perfect form. It's not bad, it's just not really that good. Well, I'll put him in good. Actually, you know what? Yeah. Okay. Perfect Cell. S tier. Perfect Cell is awesome. So, this is the version we all know Cell as. His perfect form, his legendary true power. The strongest being in the universe. And, well, he lives up to it. Vegeta's insanely powerful Final Flash did basically nothing to him, because he has his regeneration, and even then it just took off his armor, it didn't kill him or anything. He puts on the Cell games. Goku is supposed to be incredibly strong. He still stands no chance against Cell. Gohan stands no chance against him until he gets Super Saiyan 2 power up. And even to the end, it's not like Cell is defeated super easily. It takes Gohan unleashing absolutely everything he has, all of it, with a little bit of motivation too to beat Cell. But also he works well in the personality department. Before he was a horror creature and a big brutish oaf. Now he's an egomaniac. He's kind of like Frieza in the sense that he believed himself to be absolutely untouchable, invincible. He's not only annoyed when someone is able to actually hurt him, or he is like incredibly upset. He's thinking, how dare someone actually hurt me? Or at least like put up, well, I don't know if that's exactly accurate, because it's more like, because of his Saiyan selves, he enjoys fighting. He's not mad that he's getting hurt. He's mad that he might actually lose. He can't possibly stand the idea that he, the perfect ultimate life form, could possibly lose to anyone. And ultimately, his ego is his undoing. He thought he was so powerful that he could never be beaten. But of course, he was wrong. So the Big Buff form. Basically a mirror to Trunks' Big Buff form. He'd gone so insane with the idea of losing that he just bulked up, but in the process lost all his speed and his battle strategy. So he just became a big brutish oaf who couldn't really do anything. So yeah, it works well for the story, but it's still not that cool or anything. It's very short-lived. Super Perfect Cell doesn't really count to me, so whatever. Boo, it's not really a form. This, okay. The Boo of Pure Wrath. Evil Boo, whatever you want to call him. Put him at the bottom of B. So I really like the Boo Saga, unlike most people, but this is a great scene. Boo has let go of has all his anger and hate boiled up so much that he expels it from his body, and it forms its own being, a Boo of Pure Wrath. And the first thing he does, instantly kill the guy who shot his dog. Which I find to be really interesting, because his first instinct could have been to, I don't know, fight the good Boo, because he wants to destroy his good self, but no. To show that he still has some of the good Boo's mind, the first person he goes after is the evil guy who shot his dog. And good on him, because that guy totally deserved it. Because he was also a serial killer. So, yeah. It's a cool and unique design. It feels properly eerie. It's not even necessarily terrifying or anything, it's just the creep factor. Where he's, instead of being fat, he's skinny and old looking. Instead of being bright pink, he's gray. Like he's a zombie almost. It's good for him. Next is Super Boo. Super Boo is S tier. Super Boo isn't as scary as Cell or Frieza, but he still leaves quite an impact. Just like the scene where he instantly annihilates the entire human race, just like that. And you have all his crazy powers, his booming voice. It's all great stuff. He really feels scary. But I like how he's also just incredibly funny, too, because, you know, that Toriyama humor. He gets fed up with Gotenks taking forever to power up, so he just starts sitting there reading a magazine, sipping a milkshake. And he still acts like the fat Boo where he wants candy. And when Piccolo seals off the time chamber, he asks, Do you have snacks? That's the first thing he asks. And then he just screams until he somehow rips a hole through dimensions with his screams. Sure. No. He is supposed to be a magical being, so why not? I'm like, how else could that scene have been that? People have criticized that, but how else would you have resolved that? Well, would you have wanted the Dragon Ball story to end with Gotenks, Piccolo, and Boo get trapped inside the time chamber and that's it? Ooh, what if Boo... That's gotta be a video. What if Boo, Piccolo, and Gotenks were betrayed and trapped in the time chamber? Okay, jokes aside, but... Next is the Boo-Tinks. Boo-Tinks, that's what he's called, right? Boo-Tinks is good. I don't really have anything to say about him. He's just Super Boo, but with a less cool design. I guess in that regard, I'll probably put him here because he doesn't leave much of an impression. Boocolo is in 2 panels or something, so I'll just put him in mediocre because he's not really offensive or anything. It's just like, what do you want me to say about him? Buuhan. I'll put him in B tier. I think he's pretty good. I mean, you have the whole scene where he says, "Now witness the most powerful warrior in the universe," or whatever. And he actually is, because aside from Kid Buu, like when he transforms into Buuhan, he is the most powerful being in the universe. That's just how powerful he is. And the idea of Boo basically wearing a Goku outfit is kind of like with the fusion. It's cool. I like that. It's a cool design. Okay. I don't really want to include this because it's 1 panel. Whatever. I'll just put it with Boocolo. Next is Kid Buu seriously not here? Oh, I guess it's because Kid Buu isn't technically a transformation, he's Boo's original form. Well, okay, I get that. That's fair. I guess I'll include Fat Buu then. Fat Buu is S tier. Great character, but with the whole, at first he seems like just a big violent monster, but he's more like just some innocent kid who doesn't know any better. It's still bad that he killed all those people, but the second he befriends someone, he's asked, "Can you stop killing people?" He says, "Okay." And he sticks around as an ally toward the end, where he fights off Kid Buu. And nowadays he's just a friend. And he's not like he's been completely useless. He was actually pretty important in the Mara arc. Like, the whole arc begins with him getting taken, so it's not like he's useless these days. He's left a big impression. He's Fat Buu. Everyone likes him. Also, I just love the whole twist of the knife where Buu is built up as the scariest, most powerful being in the universe. And then he's just this big, fat dude. And Dabra says, "Master, this is Majin Buu." He's a complete oaf. And then Buu proceeds to, cut the dude's eyes. And he has his evil face. Sure, I'm pretty sure we all kind of expected Buu to not be looking super scary, because there's no way Toriyama would make it that simple. But still, to do it in the way that he does it is really clever. Next is... I'm not kind of doing that. Ultra Instinct. Let's go. So, Ultra Instinct is... Okay, this is Ultra Instinct's Omen, right? That's what it's called? S tier, baby. Ultra Instinct is the best form in Super. It's built up with the whole... Goku must learn how to make his body act on his own when fighting. It looks really cool, and whether you're watching the manga, whether you're looking at the manga or the anime, the way Goku achieves it is awesome. The anime has the whole moment that broke the internet. Goku absorbs the power in the Spirit Bomb with this climactic music, and everyone thinks he's dead, but he suddenly returned as he stares straight at the camera. And for the first time, he actually manages, the first person to actually hit Jiren. And we have this, how all the gods of destruction are surprised, because this is a technique of the angels. Something the gods of destruction are all supposed to be able to know, but they just can't do. But Goku could do it. Okay, next is Ultra Instinct Sign, or whatever it's called. So, this is the full version of this. So, it's basically just the culmination of it. The culmination of the idea that Goku, immortal, is able to surpass the gods of destruction. Maybe not in terms of power, but in terms of sheer skill. Because all of them were of the mindset that they are the gods of destruction. They are created with incredible power. No one can defeat them. But the whole theme of the Tournament of Power, aside from trust, is these mortal beings trespassing into the domain of the gods, as Vegeta says. So you have Goku not only being able to use Ultra Instinct, but being able to achieve its full form. Not through power-ups or anything like that, but through sheer skill and determination. It's awesome. Okay, the Ultra Instinct to sign? I don't even know what this one's called. It's like the version from the manga that gets used these days. I'll put it here. It doesn't have as many cool, it does have cool moments, but it doesn't feel as big a deal as the other versions of Ultra Instinct, so I'm not going to put it in S tier, but it's still cool, so what do you want me to say? And since it is Ultra Instinct, it is well built up too, so, you know, it's Ultra Instinct. This isn't really a form, this is more of an ability, so I'm not going to count that. Got this, not going to count that. Okay, Ultra Ego. S tier. Ultra Ego is awesome. Vegeta getting his own distinct form is just such a cool idea. In fact, that's something that's been building up for the characters a lot now. Goku has Ultra Instinct, something only he can do. Piccolo has his orange form. What's his name? Gohan has his beast form. Vegeta has Ultra Ego, and Broly's the only one who still uses Super Saiyan. So that's how it works. Ultra Ego is such a cool idea because Goku and Vegeta are very different in terms of their characters, obviously. But Vegeta is always obsessed with being as strong as Goku, if not stronger. And Goku is able to do the technique of the angels. But Vegeta can't do Ultra Instinct because that's not who he is, that's not how he acts. So he's able to learn the techniques of the gods of destruction, to embrace his Saiyan lust for battle, and able to achieve this whole new form. And the more he fights, the more it evolves. Not necessarily that it becomes stronger, but the more it evolves, the more he's able to use it better. It's basically Vegeta saying that his pride in being a Saiyan and his power and lust for battle are so great that it manifests in a whole new transformation. That's awesome. And it just looks really cool. I like the purple hair. What's next is Toppo with his God of Destruction form. It's cool. I didn't leave a huge impression on me or anything, but it does look cool, and I like we get to see someone who's not a God of Destruction use that kind of power, because the whole point is that he was a candidate to become the next God of Destruction in his universe. But throughout the whole Tournament of Power, he uses his regular powers, talking about justice, being one of the Pride Troopers, using his Justice Flash powers or whatever. But then you have him just lose his mind as he forgets about all that stuff and just gives into his God of Destruction instincts. It's really cool. Broly. Okay, here we have the Akari form. I quite like the Akari form. I think the idea of someone using Ozaru in a regular humanoid form is awesome. And it's also something that only Broly does, which makes it more unique. And it further dives into his whole problems with his power and rage. He's become so enraged that he's now fighting with the fury and lack of intelligence that a great ape has, but he's still fighting in his regular Saiyan form. It's cool. Okay, that's the same. Okay. His legendary Super Saiyan form with the Dragon Ball Super version. I like this way more than the Z version. I'll put it in. I'll put it next to this. I don't know why I like it so much. I just really like the design, like the whole bright green hair and like the cloak. It's cool. But even above that, I just like it way more than the original Broly final form, because that was just, oh, Broly's big, strong, here's my full power, whatever. But this whole movie's been about Broly as a character and about how constantly snaps and loses control and isn't some terrible, vicious warrior like most of the other Saiyans. He's just some guy. He's a lot like Gohan, actually. It's basically Gohan Super Saiyan 2, but it's not used to save the day. Instead, it's the ultimate example of Broly losing so much control of his mind. He turns into this ferocious beast. Also, he's so strong he's able to beat up Golden Frieza for an hour, so that was really funny. Gases forms. Gas's true, like, normal unlocked power thing. I'll put it in, Bottom B. So, I like Gas as a villain well enough. Well, the Heaters, more accurately, as a whole, but this form doesn't really stand out to me. It's just Gas fighting with his actual power. Okay, his big monster form. Yeah, I like that one a bit more. So I'll put it like right above. I don't know, I love the Granola Saga, I really do, but there isn't really much for me to say about Gas's forms. Okay, the whole zombie thing. This is better, you know. It further goes into the whole, starts diving into the whole thing of Gas has sacrificed so much of his life force to become the strongest in the universe. Now he's starting to look ancient, but there's not much to say about it. Okay, the zombie form. I love this one. This one's really cool. They talked about the whole, as you become stronger and stronger with the Dragon Balls, you have to sacrifice part of your life. He sacrificed so much of his life that he's become a zombie. He's gotten to the point where even though his body is completely deteriorating, that doesn't matter anymore. All that matters is that his power stays intact. But of course, he doesn't even realize what's happening to him until the very end, where we get to this form. Only now is he finally told that he is dying. His body is just tearing itself apart to become this strong, and now he looks like this. It's a genuinely scary looking image, but it's also threatening for just how powerful he's become. And then he also gets one shot by Black Frieza in that form, so, you know. Okay, Kale, Caulifla, whatever, Caulifla's, I don't know, Kefla, that's the name of the fusion. Kefla, that's the name of the fusion, whatever, it's mediocre. It's cool to see Kale and Caulifla fuse, but I didn't really care about either of them, so seeing both of them fuse into one person, well, her design is cool, I guess, but like, I just don't really care. I don't really care about Kale or Caulifla. Kale's big monster form is something, I guess. I'll put it here. Bottom of mediocre, I don't really care. I'm almost to the end of this, so I'm just trying to rush through this. Super Saiyan? Super Saiyan Caulifla is, like, I don't really care. I don't have anything to say about that. That's it. Okay, then just for Granola. So, Granola unleashing his true power. I'll give the form you'll give it a bottom of B. It looks like it's cool in the story, but he basically is just Granola with longer hair, which he ends up cutting off anyway, so he just looks the same. Okay, Granola's like double red eye form thing. This is cool. I like it more. It demonstrates the whole like he's people are sharpshooters or whatever. So that's cool. And that's my ranking of every Dragon Ball transformation. This was way longer than I thought it would be. And now my computer's seriously running out of battery, so thanks for watching. And remember to stay way past cool.